Hello. So as we're all experiencing, I feel like self-taping and online virtual auditions will be a thing for quite a while, or at least I think probably for like the first stages of auditions. And now I can say that I've probably had my fair share, and funny enough, as I'm filming this on Sunday when this is uploaded, I have a virtual audition exactly when you're watching this. So yeah, it's kind of a thing now and it is the norm. And I will say I think I've had the goods and the bads. So today I thought I would go through my step-by-steps of what I do to prepare and get myself ready before I have a virtual audition. So that could be including the whole process of setting up all my equipment to then when we are live online and doing my audition. First thing to do is set up your PC, or for me, I use my laptop because it has my camera on it. And also if you have one, an external microphone. I always like to make sure that my laptop is working and it's fully charged and plugged in, and then I like to just test the camera, see if it's all working okay, and ensuring that my laptop is connected to the internet, because that's pretty much one of the most important things about virtual auditions, is making sure your connection is okay and probably having a backup plan just in case. A good backup plan is tethering it on your phone, so if for whatever reason it crashes, you can quickly log in and, you know, resume your audition. Resume your audition. Also with the camera, I like to make sure that the framing is all okay. So if I'm sitting down, making sure that it's at a good level, looking at my face, and also kind of a complementing, I can't get my words right today, I'm saying all the wrong words. A complementing angle, and also, you know, if you're sitting down or standing up, make sure that you've got it at the right level. Either you have like a laptop stand to make sure it's head height, face height, you know what I'm trying to say. Or like me, I normally just put it on my desk in a bed here and make sure it's all set up. Second one is lighting. Now, as I've said previously in my videos, if I don't have the natural lighting from like a window, I will put my artificial lights up, and just making sure that I've got a well lit face so they can see me easily, and if I need to add my second light, I will if it's getting a bit dark, or as it's England, it's always dark and miserable. So a little bit of extra light helps a long way. The third one is your background. So once you've set up, you know exactly where you're probably going to be sitting or standing for your audition. It's always good to make sure that your background is very neat and tidy. For me personally, I set up my backdrop, as you can see right now, with the stands, just ensuring that nothing is distracting in my background. And also, because where I film my self-tapes, the bathroom is connected to it, and if for whatever reason the dog rushes in or my other half needs to go to the toilet, it never really happens, but you never know, just in case. At least it's completely blocked off and no one can see for whatever reason emergency needs to get into the room. Also personally, I just like the cleanness of having a plain block colour, and it means that I don't have to clear the rest of the room. But if you don't have one, that's perfectly fine. I think it's just making sure that, as I said, it's neat, tidy, and overall just nothing distracting in your background, like a pile of clothes or a TV on, or, you know, something that will distract the people watching you from your performance. You want to make sure that all the focus is on you. So yeah, a big tip, if you do have pets, make sure that they're not in the same room, because as adorable as it is to see them, again, it just takes away from your performance. The fourth thing I do is getting dressed. So once I know that all my setup is ready and it's all good to go and it's on, I will then get dressed for the role. Now, like I said before, I don't dress exactly like the character, but I like to make sure that it reflects the type of role. For example, if it's quite a smart role, say that they are an FBI agent, I might wear a shirt, depending on what colour, maybe something that will complement my skin tone, and, you know, maybe put my hair up in a bun or slick back, just so, as I said, it reflects the type of character. And I will strongly suggest is making sure that you're fully clothed. Now this might sound a bit weird, but let me explain what I mean. So as I said, if it was a smart audition, I would wear a nice smart shirt. But I got caught out once by wearing smart on top and underneath, because I thought, they can't see my legs, they can't see my trousers. I was just wearing tracky bottoms. And when they ask you to stand up, it looks a little bit silly when you've got half smart and then you look just not very put together. So it doesn't really reflect that good. So I think it's always good to be prepared. Scout's honour, it's always good to be prepared. And if for whatever reason they ask you to get up or you need to move for any reason, at least you are fully clothed and dress like the character and you won't have any fears of please don't ask me to do that. And for me personally, I like to wear a little bit of makeup for my roles, depending on what style. Most of the time I just go natural like I'm kind of wearing now. If it needs a little bit more for the character, say for example they might like a little red lip, or you know, quite a glamorous look, then obviously I would do my makeup for that. But I think overall I just like, as I said, quite a natural look, just making sure that I look all plumped, healthy and dewy. That's a good word. But yeah, just looking like a more awake version of me. The first top tip though for this video is making sure that you're prepared no matter what for your audition. For example, they might completely throw you off guard and ask you to actually get the performance on its feet and moving around and not sitting down. This can kind of throw you off, considering if you haven't, you know, organised a space, you don't have the room. I think if you have your backup plan in case they ask you something like that, you know exactly what you're going to be doing and it takes no time at all to move, adjust the camera and so on. Plus it does show to them that you've thought of this and you know you're thinking on your feet and trying different things. And all you really want at the end of the day is just to have to adjust the camera. Fifth thing I like to do is making sure that my script is ready in hand if I need it. Now I will either boot up my computer because it's quite quiet as well. Now I should probably get an external proper, you know, decent web camera instead of one on my laptop. So then I can prop it up on my computer and then I don't have to worry about setting up my laptop and the PC. But for now, what I do is I make sure the laptop's on and then I boot up the computer and either put the script behind the lens of the camera so it's there if I need it, all highlighted and ready of my character lines. Or if I can't do this, or I prefer to have it in my hands and the script there, then I'll just place it to the side of me and it's there just in case I need to go over things or there's slight changes and adjustments. Just like an in-person audition, of course it's good to be off book, but sometimes, you know, things change. You might not have had a lot of time, or it's just good to have, you know, your script to the side of you just as a safety net, just in case that, you know, the lines might slip and you just need to make sure that you feel comfortable knowing that it's there. Now the sixth one is something that I always do because I am a worrier and overthinker, but I double check everything. You know, I think it's so important to double check pretty much everything that we've gone through, making sure you're completely ready for your audition. Now for me, it's mainly double checking over the emails that they sent or all the casting calls details and just re-familiarising myself about the production, the role, the character, any specific details, and always double checking the time of the audition, making sure you got the link and so on. Like, I'm always paranoid that I'm going to be late or I've lost the email and I've got a minute to go before the audition. Nah, I do not like that. So for me, I think it's always good and it just is a bit of peace of mind, just double checking that you've got everything and it's all set up. And you definitely don't want the stress of, say for example, like your laptop's about to die and you don't have the charger wherever you are. No. Make sure you are ready. The next one is just having one last look over the script. Now I'm going to assume that you've had time previously to look over the lines and, you know, nail them into your head. But for me, I personally quite like just having a quick read through over my lines, just thinking about my, you know, intentions and what I want from the other character and, you know, just refresh my mind, making sure that I feel confident that I know them. You know, and it's a great time to get yourself warmed up with your voice and, you know, going over accents if you have one. It's a great time to just get yourself focused and zoned into the moment and getting yourself into the script. And the final thing I do once I know that I'm completely ready, everyone knows that I'm about to do a self-tape and it's nice and quiet in the house, I will be at least 5 minutes early for my phone call or Zoom call. I think it's always good practice, you know, to be early. As this is for audition, if you're on time, you're late. So I like to be at least 5 minutes early, already logged in to the link and in the waiting room for my audition. And I think all you can do is just wait patiently, focus on what you're about to do, you know, whether it's just having that first line in your head of the script or the questions that you want to ask them, or, you know, just getting yourself calm, relaxed and into the zone until you're ready to go live and you start talking to them. I think, yeah, it's always good to be early, and it just, for me, it just makes me not panic and be stressing and faffing and shaking. I just, oh, it's the worst thing when you're literally bang on time or you're a minute late. And plus, it gives you a bit of room, for example, if the link doesn't work and you need to quickly email them. And if you're lucky, they might actually go live earlier and you can get your self-tape smashed out of the window. Is that even a phrase? Smashed out of the park? But yeah, just done and dusted and owned. I got another top tip of mine when it comes to virtual auditions is it's always good to have a couple questions for the production. You may have heard this just like in normal auditions. I think it's so important to have a question ready, no matter what it is, if it's big or little question. I think it just kind of shows that you've spent the time looking at the details of the productions and just thinking ahead of the what ifs or the things that you would like to know that might confirm if you would like to accept the role if you have a good audition. And also, if you think about it, when you have a little bit of a conversation, it allows you to calm down, warm up and just, you know, familiarise with the people that are going to be watching you. And for me, I think when I find out further things about the production or the role, or you might find out a specific detail about the character you didn't think about, it just makes me more excited about it and more energised and wanting to do the audition well. And that follows me on to do not be afraid to ask them any questions or concerns you have about the production, the role, the scene, whatever it is, just ask them. I think, you know, like any audition, you want to make sure that you know that you are confident in your actions and what you're going to do. And if you have any concerns at all, there's no harm in asking them because they can just clarify it for you and, you know, make you feel more comfortable and ready to kind of do the audition and the role. And also, which happens a lot to all of us, I'm pretty sure it's happened to all of us at least once, when we fluff up the lines and we would like to do it again. There's no harm in asking them if you can do it again at the end of it. You know, they might have a little bit extra time and, you know, we're all human, we understand, you're nervous. They've probably been in the same boots. They've probably been in the same situation as you, or just the fact of they've seen millions of auditions before. Everyone always has a moment every now and again. But don't be afraid to just ask them if they have enough time, could you please do it again? And be, you know, but just be understanding if they can or can't, because obviously they might have other auditions, but you might be lucky and most of the time they will allow you to have another crack at it. And if you do have the unfortunate thing of technical difficulties, don't be afraid to say, excuse me or sorry, or pause it and, you know, repeat your line or just go with the flow and go with your gut instincts. If something seriously goes wrong, they will probably stop you and tell you to where to restart or, you know, do things again. So don't overthink the technical side of things and, you know, if things kind of freeze in your end, if you can still hear them, just keep going with it, I would say. But they are all of my steps of what I do before a virtual audition. And now having this system every time that I do virtual auditions, for me personally, it just helps me feel a lot more organised and in control of my audition. You know, as you've probably gathered, I can overthink and panic and get very flustered quite easily, and just having this kind of step-by-step of what I'd like to do to feel organised, it makes me feel a lot more calm and confident going into my auditions. And once it goes live, I'm ready to go, I'm confident, happy, energised, and I don't have any of those little worries in the back of my mind of like, oh my god, this is about to happen, or I forgot this, forgot that. You don't want any of that, so I would say it's best to try and get yourself as organised as possible and you can just purely focus on your audition and just smashing it. But if there's any useful tips that you have done and you've found along your way of, you know, doing virtual auditions, please let me know in the comments because I'd love to adapt some new tips and tricks. And if any of these have helped you or you've done them before, again, let me know. I like to see what you guys are doing as well. But I hope you've enjoyed this video. Best of luck for any virtual auditions you have or in-person ones if you're very lucky. But yeah, I hope this helped and have a great day, evening, wherever you are, and take care. The first one is barking. Joys of having a doggy. Max, quiet. What a diva. I probably should get an external, I probably should get an external camera. What's the word? Now the thick. But I hope you've enjoyed. Best of luck